What's up, buddies? Super Dude Mega here. Welcome back to another Minecraft video. This is a really special video as I am uploading it the day, or I'm recording it, not necessarily uploading it. I'm recording it the day that 1.14 has been released. So you can see I have my crossbow here, right here, and you know you can do that and then shoot. There's tons upon tons of things that are in this. And the main one that is very visible is a lot of the textures of pretty much everything have changed. So we have like different glass texture. Now it's going to take me quite a while to get used to this texture as it's really different. I mean, a lot of things are different. So we have different wood textures for pretty much everything. We have tons of new items and all kinds of different things that are happening. The thing we're going to go over in this one, and I'll use editing probably, is, well, normally you'd think it was a crossbow, but it's a bug of some sort that I found where you tend to sneak. When you are crouching, you go lower, like, a lot. And I'm not measuring it, but it's just really noticeable. Like, why do you go all the way down? You should go less. So that's the first thing. But anyway, the main one is, for right now, is crossbow. Now, I don't know why these are despawning, but so normally you have a crossbow. It's better than a regular bow in some ways because it does more damage. So let's say I hit something right there. So it does more damage. It takes longer to reload though. And there's an enchant that makes it faster reloading, which I'll go over the enchants in a second. But as you can see, let's say I switch out of my crossbow, out of my hotbar, it is still loaded. So I just killed that guy. But you can see that compared to, let's say, a normal bow, this will reload faster, but it does take longer. Now you can't really see it necessarily here, but you're just gonna have to trust me on that because it would make sense anyway. Because crossbow looks like it would pull back farther. A little bit too excited. We're just going to go with multi-shot because it's the first thing in my inventory. So if we have another creeper here, what multi-shot will do is, as it says, it will shoot 3 ways. So as you saw, it just hit 3, well, except for that one right there. What it does is it basically hits 3 ways instead of 1. So it's really good. It's kind of like a shotgun, but with a bow instead, a crossbow. So this is really good if you have a lot of monsters coming at you at once. Not so much if you have one. But it's still good nevertheless. We're going to remove that crossbow and we're going to get a new one. You know, might as well get another one for the next one. Piercing, what piercing does is when you have more than one mob in a row like this, it will actually go through all of them. So if you saw right there, you saw them all jump. See, it hit all of them. It will do most damage to the mob in front just because that would normally what happen in real life. The third enchant that I found was Quick Charge. Now, Quick Charge is pretty simple. It charges a lot faster. So you just can have this happening, and it just seems better in, like, every way. So now we're just going to move on to the next thing that I think of. Okay, so these are a couple of well, I think all of the tables and new functional blocks, except for a few like this one and that one. I'll get to those, but these are just a bunch of new blocks that got added in 1.14. Some functional, some not. most of them are functional, and they're basically just more specific things than the crafting table. So they're all basically different versions of the crafting table. They're just easier for some specific things. Now, I don't know what the fletching table or the smithing table is for. I guess they're just for decoration because they do appear in the new villages, which we'll go over hopefully today. We'll see. But for now, it just seems like they're for looks, which is fine, but I hope to see that they have a use in the future. But anyway, we're just gonna go through down the line. So in the first one, we have a loom. So here you see we have, this is for basically banners, to make banner making a lot more simple. So what we have here is, instead of crafting it in the crafting table, now let me see if it actually still crafts in the crafting table. We'll see right now. It does not. So normally this would that would make a dot in the banner. It cannot do that anymore. What you have to do now is go into the loom, place the banner up there, place the black dye, or not necessarily black dye, but just any dye, and then you can just make it to how you want it. So there, I took it. Now this is a lot easier than, let's say, doing it in the crafting table, because all you need is just one piece of dye. So this, I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think what it does is it gives a specific one. Now, okay, so what these do is they add one that wasn't already there, and I think the way you would make those is, I'm going to assume that you can craft them with, what's it called? Okay, I'm not very sure, but these are probably just extra patterns that couldn't fit with just all of these given patterns, maybe because they're normally harder to get. Because let's see how many others there are. So there's a globe, which is a thing. Okay, there's a thing. I think these are just for ones that are normally harder to obtain in survival Minecraft. So we don't want to make it like super easy, so they just add this so that it makes it a little bit harder. So that's the globe, and you have, this is not a thing, this is the Mojang logo. I don't know why Mojang calls themselves a thing. But then we have the skull charge, which most of you know about. Oh, that was not meant to happen. So you have the creeper, the thing, but it's actually just the Mojang logo. Then you have the earth, or the globe, skull crossbones, and then you just have a flower of some sort. So that's the banner thing. Now we're moving on to the barrel. Now the barrel is basically a chest. So with the barrel, you can open it, and you see that there's that cool animation, which is supposed to be the barrel opening, and you can put whatever you fancy in there. So let's say this is our plank barrel, and then you put a bunch of planks in there. Now the barrel, you can also, it is directional. I just had it sideways, but you can have it up, you can have it facing this way, that way, wherever, and it has an interesting backside. But that's the barrel, so it's a quick one. Smoker. Now the smoker is just a furnace pretty much, but a furnace, we're gonna have some smelting speeds here. I'm not very good at preparing stuff, so that's why some of these things aren't here. But so we're gonna have a race going on right here, kind of. Let's just get some coal here, shall we? Let's do that, and then there, and then here. So we have coal on all of these, and so what we're gonna do is we'll get on to the blast furnace in a second. We're gonna have a raw pork chop. You know, we're gonna go for 16 to make it faster, because I'm not going to wait for all that long. And so I'm going to start with the furnace first to make it not look cheating. So, as you can see already, the smoker, this arrow right here, is going a lot slower than this one. So, I don't know if I can do a side-to-side comparison real time right now. I don't think I can, but if I can, then I'll try it, and it should be going up right now. But in case I can't, then this is what it looks like. So you see, the speed of this arrow is filling itself much faster compared to this one, and you have 6 here, and so basically this is twice as fast. Also has a cool animation right here. This cooks meat twice as fast as a regular furnace. Also, I think this isn't in this version, but you can look at everything that can be smelted through there. And then same goes here. You can only cook meats. So I haven't actually had all of the recipes unlocked, and that's why it's not working like that. Now, there is a third way to cook meat, which is the fireplace, which we will go over that in a second. Not a second, multiple, but so you get the point. This one's faster, this one is finished, and this is not done yet. So we're just gonna stop you right there, and we are going to move on to the blast furnace. Now the blast furnace it cannot cook any meat. Only the smoker can cook meat, and the furnace and the fireplace, but the smoker cannot cook any ore of any sort. So let's say I were to get iron ore, like, why not 64, because that seems like a good number. If I put it in here, nothing's gonna happen. Now we already know it would happen in here. So in here, same story. This can only cook ores, but so now we're gonna show the comparison. Yep, it's much faster. Okay, you get the point. This one's faster, this one's slower. This one can cook everything. These, I believe, they're a little bit harder to make. If we go on our crafting table here and search up smoker, the crafting table is a furnace with wood, stripped logs actually, or no, not stripped logs, any kind of log around it. So you can see that it's going around. And then if we want to make a blast furnace, which doesn't seem to be there because I don't know why. So we're going to move on to the cartography table. Now, with the cartography table, this is basically an easy way to deal with maps. So normally in Minecraft before, you would put this around, and then it would give you the same map, but at a smaller scale. So you can see right here, before that little part right there, this part covered the entire map. Now it only covers part of it. So if I take a map from here, and I get some paper, of course, you put it in here, you put the map here, it actually shows it right here, and then you can put paper, and it will show how the map is going to be shrunken, and you don't need to use as much paper as when you were doing it with that. So it's basically, if you're a little bit farther in the game, it's a paper saver, so resource saver, and then this basically gives the exact same thing, as you can see. So that is the cartography table. Fletching table, no use, so we're moving on to this. So with this is a cheaper, in some ways, version of the anvil. And so the way this one works is, now instead of so back then you were able to, let's say you had 2 damaged tools, you could merge them into one, and then so basically what you do is you put 2 of these here, and it's like, whoa, new one merged with both of those. You cannot do that anymore. I'm pretty sure it was removed in this update because now there's a use, you would put both of them in here, and then you get your brand new one right here, and there's that nice sound effect. Now let me just go back into creative real quick. These are also directional compared to the barrel, and the stone cutter is also directional, but we're not onto that yet. Anyway, so that's the repairing part. You put 2 and 2 together, and then that happens. Now, okay, so when you put it in here, when you put any enchanted item, I'm just using a golden sword as an example, it will remove all enchants from it. So it even says up here exactly what it does. And then you get the experience from those enchants back. So it's kind of like your refund if you don't want an enchant. So we're moving on to the smithing table, which doesn't work. It's just for looks, and you can find it in the blacksmith villager's house, which I don't know if we're going to go through that. Now, the stone cutter is a cool thing that has to do with a bunch of stone, basically. So I don't think, yeah, you cannot do it with oak planks. It's everything to do with stone. Saves you on cobblestone stairs. So normally you get, so here you get 1 cobblestone stairs per cobblestone. Normally you would spend 6 cobblestone and only get 4. So this saves you 2 cobblestone, and then you can change it and make, well, 26 stairs if you want. And so now I have 30 cobblestone stairs. Moving on to a small item, which is, I like it, it's the bell. So the bell is not necessarily directional, but depending on where you place it, it will hang from there. So you, let's say you put it on there, it will hang from there, and then, so if you were to place it on the top, it would just hang from that, and then if you were to place it on the side block, then it hangs from there. Okay. And then if you place it on the ground, it hangs from these 2 stone pillars. So that's the bell. It's small, and then we have a nice lantern. And so this is a nice way to basically light up stuff, but it gives more light than a torch. So that's the lighting of a torch, and then you have a lantern. Yeah, you can already tell this is a bigger, not radius necessarily, or are they the same? Yeah, this one's bigger. It gives a bigger radius in the center than the torch does. So, and the way you craft it, see if I can, I don't have these memorized, but of course it's not here. The fireplace is pretty cool. So this is how it looks. And it gives out smoke like that. But if you put a hay bale under the fireplace, it gives off a higher amount of smoke. So it brings it all the way up to about here, while the little fireplace brings it only up to here. So I would recommend giving a hay bale if you want to give some like forest signal. But another really cool thing with the fireplace is you can cook food on it. So as you can see right here, what I've just done is I've placed food on the sides. So with the fireplace, it doesn't, these pieces of meat, and you don't have to just place raw mutton, you can do anything. But the pieces of meat take a little longer to cook than they would in a regular furnace. But a fireplace is pretty easy to make. Hopefully it's actually here. Yeah. So all you need in a fireplace is 3 sticks, 3 strips, or no, 3 logs, and then charcoal in the middle, and then you got a fireplace. So pretty easy crafting recipe. So it's good if you haven't gotten stone yet. So it's a perfect starter thing. And as you see, the meat popped right off. Now I believe you cannot place ores on it. It's only for yeah, you cannot place ores on it. it's only for meats. And I think it's just because blocks would be pretty big to place on there. So this is called the composter. Now the way the composter works is what you do is, let's say you have tons of excess saplings, which I seem to have right here. Or actually, it doesn't have to be just saplings, it can be anything. Any sort of thing. If you place it into here, you place it all the way to the top, you get bone meal out of it, instead of having to go find skeletons. I think any type of item associated with farming, so carrots, wheat seeds. I don't think, oh, okay. It might just be any, okay. Does dried kelp work? Okay. So I think the way it works, I don't know why I'm getting spammed on Snapchat, but any food item that is not any of these, that isn't meat, will work in here. And so different items have different amounts of stuff that they give, so they have percentage chances that they'll fill it up onto the lectern. So something that's cool about the lectern is the only blocks, if not the only block, that actually has a diagonally facing thing in the model of the block. An interesting like grid line instead of a diagonal one. It's like it's stairs. But there's a couple of things you can do. It's actually found in the redstone section because it does have to do with redstone. What you do with the lectern normally is it holds a book, basically. You can now, this is a sentence. You used to not be able to edit things after this, after the cursor, or the whatever you call that, the blinking dot line. So back then, if you were to write a really long book that goes all the way down to like down here, and let's say you made a mistake in a typo right there. Darn, I meant to put an F there. Normally, back then, you had to delete all of it and until you got to there. Now, all you have to do is click and then get it. Now, I don't know why they didn't do this earlier, but it's silly that they didn't. Subscribe. Why not? Okay. So I'm gonna close. So we have our subscribe book here. And so every time that you turn the page, it gives more redstone output. Another cool thing about this is it stays in the page instead of when you only have it in your own book, it doesn't do that. But then, that's too short. So then if we switch the page again, it gives more redstone output. And it seems like it gives only two more grades of redstone, and then take a dude, more and more and more until we get to subscribe. And our light is on because it has given the full amount. And it can even go further, like up to here. So that's all of the utilities that I can think of at this point in time. Please remind me if I missed any. Okay, so something else that's been added is tons upon tons of wall variants. So we have cobblestone, that's already been there, I don't know why that's there. We have andesite, nether brick, red nether brick actually. And there's also a regular nether brick over there. We have bricks, mossy cobblestone, that's already been there too, wow. Sandstone, end brick, prismarine, diorite, red sandstone, that's also been, no that wasn't, okay. Mossy stone bricks, granite, stone brick, and then regular nether brick. Also tons of new slab and stair variants of all of these. Well, this is not regular quartz, this is smooth quartz. They also added 3 new flowers. So we have the lily of the valley, we have the cornflower, and the wither rose. Now, the wither rose when you are in survival does wither affect you, which is not very nice. So there are now new scaffolding blocks, which the way that scaffolding blocks work is you just place them like this, and then you can go up and by the middle, and then so you press spacebar to go all the way up, so all the way down, and then to go all the way down you just press shift and find the edge of the block, and then it goes over there for some reason. I'm not sure how it works, but it goes up. Whoa, okay. And then there's a limit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a limit of 6 blocks. So that's the scaffolding part, and a really fun part about scaffolding is, well, you can save yourself kind of by going through it from a fall, but you break one at the bottom, and just like normal physics, it would just it would break everything else. You get that from, of course, bamboo. So the way you do it is, okay then. Hopefully this stuff, yay, okay. So the way you make it is you have 6 bamboo on both sides, and then you have string. But anyway, bamboo grows in the jungle, so you'll find massive amounts of bamboo. And of course, with bamboo comes our next feature, I guess, which is pandas. Yay! And so pandas come in, I don't know how many personalities, but you have the regular one, which is this guy. You have the angry one, which is this one. And so with this one, I'm going to accidentally deal a little bit of damage to him. It's like, oh, oops, I was trying to sneeze. But then he gets angry, and then he's pretty strong. Okay, now I spawned all the way over here now. We're back over here. This guy was very rude to have killed me because all I did was sneeze and you happened to be a little bit too close. Anyway, then we have a very, very rare panda which just came in just now, which I was not expecting, which is the brown panda. And then you have the sick panda, which this panda is just, he sneezes occasionally, I think. You'll probably be able to hear it, and so do baby pandas. So let me just spawn in a baby right here. Oh, and we got a baby sick one. What about? Oh, okay. It just gives a smaller one of the. Okay. I wonder what happens if I accidentally. Whoa. I wasn't expecting that from an angry panda. I wonder what happens if you if you accidentally sneeze / hit on a angry baby panda. We'll find out later. But anyway, we have the sick panda who sneezes occasionally. But this one, while he has somehow gotten his head stuck in Super Express. But this is the lazy panda. Now, as you can see, the lazy panda just lays around a lot more than any other, and I think he's the only one that lays around. And he does this for really long amounts of time, and he has that kind of happy face that like sloths would have or something. Okay, we also have the scared panda. I believe that is the right name for it. Oh, so that was just a little baby that just sneezed just then, and all of the pandas around him or her jump because they get scared. Anyway, back to this panda. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's just a scared panda, but he runs away, I think. So let me just do another survival. Yeah, this one is the one that runs away. So if the player is near, then he'll just run away. This is also a good time to just show that oh, let me give myself some. So let's say I have some of this, then, well, pandas love bamboo. Ow. Oh. Okay. So apparently if you don't give this to pandas, they will actually hurt you. I found it. It took a very long time, but this is the playful panda. Now, I think I got it on camera. I might show it, but unless he does it again. There we go. So the playful panda does tons of barrel rolls, or that. If that's not a barrel roll, I don't know what it is. But he's doing that pretty much constantly, so you can give him stuff. Also, another thing that you can do is if you drop one on the floor, one of them will take it and eat it. And so I think what's happening here is everyone wants the bamboo, and so they'll take it. So now we're gonna go over cats. So there was before the update, there were only three types of cats. You had a like Garfield colored cat, so like orange. You had a Siamese cat, and then you had a black cat. And now there's 7 or 8 different cats, and they range from white to black to Siamese. Garfield will wildly wander through villages. So let's say you get fish. Wait, it's called cod. So I got a cod right here. Let's say I not lure, but get this cat here. This is my cat now. So you can now dye their collars to anything, just like you could with dogs. So I want let's go dark green. So where's Mr. Whiskers? There we go. Now he has a dark green, and you can have him sit around, go wherever. And I'm just gonna let all of these wild animals wander. But anyway, what you can do with the cats is at nighttime when you go to sleep, and then let me sleep, he's gonna sleep on me. In the morning, I will get a random item, so it's like rabbit's foot, or string, or some other small item that you might expect a cat to go get. So here I got Rotten Flesh, which isn't great. So there's this new villager that walks around, and so he looks like this. I will go over all of the villagers in a separate video probably. But the Wandering Trader, that's the name of him. He is separate from the villages, so you will not find him wandering in a village. You will just find him wandering somewhere in your Minecraft world, and I'm pretty sure they are very rare to come across. Now, these wandering travelers usually come with a llama with a custom carpet on it, I think. And so they're really rare to come across, but when you do find them, they have pretty cool trades. Now, there's a whole new trading system with villagers. I'm not very great at it, but let me just get a bunch of legit emeralds real quickly. Right, here's a couple. So these are totally legit. I totally got them from actual places. So with the Wandering Traveler, you can take all of that and do whatever. And a Wandering Traveler is the only villager that will never replenish his trades at all, I believe. So now there's nothing left in there. I have a bunch of junk in my inventory now. But these are rare to come across, and they have those pretty nice treasures that you can come across if you do find them. And so they're really nice. And I think that's all I'm going to go over today. I know I'm missing tons of stuff, and we're going over it in another video because this is going way too long. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like, subscribe if you're new and you like my content, leave a comment, I'll reply to you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!